Alright guys, since you guys really love the NASCAR videos, we're gonna do a reaction to a NASCAR getting ejected moment. So I guess getting ejected is like getting a red card in soccer. Um, but yeah, I think that's what
What
it's
warrants
about.
an ejection in NASCAR? NASCAR
Let's
drivers
check it
can
out.
run onto the track under caution to throw a helmet at another driver and not get ejected. But if you go
Okay.
as far as to get payback on a driver who wrecked you, you risk the chance of getting parked. This is the NASCAR term for
Wait.
getting ejected. You may
So you can step out on a live track, risking your life to throw a helmet at another car, and that's fine. But when you try to get revenge on a different car by, I guess, like pitting it from the side, that's no. Okay.
get parked for the remainder of the current race or
Interesting.
in extreme circumstances for a handful of upcoming races. Believe it or not, NASCAR has some very recent examples of both. But wait,
And you guys
what
said
is
that you can actually hit other people's cars. I was like, whoa, that's
the difference
interesting.
between these two NASCAR accidents? One of these warranted a 2-race suspension and the other received no suspension at all. The 24 and 20 cars are both wrecking the other car in retaliation. We'll go more in depth on this one a bit later. The reasoning may surprise you.
Okay.
Most NASCAR drivers go their entire careers without even getting parked or ejected once. As mentioned
Wait, this video is so good.
previously, a simple helmet throw to another competitor doesn't warrant you to be tossed from the event. This definitely would not be the case in most sports. Chris Buescher is generally known for being one of the nicest NASCAR drivers, and from what I can tell,
I think in soccer, even for taking off your... I'm comparing everything to soccer because I don't watch any other sports except for soccer once a year. Even if you take off your shirt. Even if you take off your shirt, you can get a card, right?
he's the least likely to get parked from a NASCAR race. That's why I've teamed up again with his NASCAR sponsor, Auto Tempest. It's
What?
as easy as this. Auto
That's kinda
Tempest gathers
crazy.
all the listings for used cars in your area and then combines them so you can view each listing in the same place and
Crazy
also
sponsor.
get way more results. No more visiting sites like TrueCar, eBay Motors, and Cars Tempest for supporting me and our favorite sport, NASCAR.
Alright.
Our first
Atlanta.
instance of NASCAR drivers getting ejected is Carl Edwards being removed from the 2010 Atlanta race. Here is your 20 seconds of context.
Okay.
This is gonna go fast. Carl Edwards was sent flying from Keselowski's bumper at Talladega in 2009, which was unintentional.
Oh, I've
It
seen
was the
this.
beginning of a feud between Edwards and Keselowski in which some meaningless encounters took place in the Nationwide Series races afterwards. A year later, Edwards made contact with Brad Keselowski at the start of the Atlanta race, and when he rejoined the race over 100 laps
So it's
down,
like a
he intentionally
rivalry
spun
kinda
out
thing.
Keselowski. He meant to just simply spin him, but Brad's car got airborne, and they were going over 160 miles an hour in the process. Keselowski landed on the roof of his car, which potentially could have hurt him. Wow.
Yeah, well...
I have a feeling that the only reason Carl Edwards was ejected from this race is because he sent Brad airborne. If it was just a simple spin, his chances of finishing the race
Wait, so you
would have
can
increased
spin
greatly.
people?
Edwards wasn't
So you can spin people, but because they're going so fast, he got airborne, right? And then that's why he got suspended, I guess.
temporarily banned
Parked.
from any NASCAR events after Atlanta, but he did receive a 3-race probation. The
Oh, them
commentators
three,
had a
yeah.
reaction to this crash that you're probably going to want to hear.
That NASCAR is parking Edwards for the balance of the race, and he's being called to the NASCAR hauler.
He's not doing himself.
I don't know if it's me, but the rules kind of seem very not like set in stone. They're very like elastic. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes in this case, maybe you get parked and sometimes you don't.
right now going
Maybe
backwards down
I'm
pit
a
road either.
noob. Okay, I don't
They're
know.
not going to like that at all.
But Terrell, I got to ask you, Carl Edwards is 156 laps down. What's going on here?
That was not necessary. Very unnecessary.
Kyle Busch versus Ron Hornaday is one of the most famous instances where a NASCAR driver gets parked, then suspended. Remember in the last video why I mentioned
got
that Michael
like,
McDowell
suspended?
raced the 18 at Texas in 2011?
completely?
This is why. With this angry heat of the moment move, Kyle Busch threw away Hornaday's potential championship season, but also every shot he himself
That
might
was
have had to win the
pity,
Cup
man.
championship in 2011. Busch was not only parked for the Cup race at Texas, but was also not allowed to race in the Nationwide Series race either. Fans speculated if Kyle Busch would continue driving for Joe Gibbs after this on-track carelessness, but it's a good thing he did because he won 2 championships with JGR within the next 8 years. You'll see a common theme that when somebody intentionally wrecks a championship contender, that's when they have the highest chances of getting parked.
I ended up losing my cool, and I've been
Wait,
wrecked 4 weeks in a row.
so
and finally I
someone is taking over. Like let's say you're racing to the final line, you see him like overtaking you. Can you just like boop, and then he flies, like, and then you win?
Just had enough of it, and so you can't place all blame on one person. There was 2 people that got into it to begin with, and there was 2 people that ended it.
Interesting.
Brennan Poole gets parked.
I am
for
learning
eventually
so much
wrecking
here.
JJ Yaley at Iowa. The instigator in this series of events is JJ Yaley. He turns Poole into the outside wall for seemingly no reason. In an interview after the race, he claims he was just trying to get in line behind Brennan Poole. However, on replay, it seems as if he blatantly wrecked him. Since Poole went head on with the turn 3 wall, what better
Damn.
time than to get JJ Yaley back at the same part of the track and wrecking him in a nearly identical way. Obviously, Brennan
Wait.
Poole had to be parked for the rest of the race, likely
Wait. So he came back? Wait, I thought after you crash, you're done. Wait, so do they go back and they have more cars? Okay, that sounds
track and
awesome.
wrecking him in a
What?
nearly
Okay, wait,
identical
what?
way. Obviously, Brennan Poole had to be parked for the rest of the race, likely because he retaliated at over 100 laps down, but I wonder if he still would have been parked if he was racing on the lead lap. This payback can easily be passed off as justified, even if Poole still got parked.
I was
Between
totally
Johnny Sauter and Austin Hill,
convinced
you
you're
could
like
probably come to the
done once you
observation
crash.
that Sauter started the encounter and also ended it. It starts with a bump that Johnny Sauter gives Hill in turn 1. Hill comes back and spins the 13 truck in turn 3, which I'm not sure was justified. Either way, Sauter comes back and gets his payback for the payback under caution. Johnny Sauter was parked for the rest of Iowa and also the next race at Gateway.
Wait,
where
I'm
he had
loving
Wyatt
this.
Snyder fill in for
This
the number
makes it so
13.
much better. My whole like NASCAR perception just expanded. I'm starting to love this.
After a bad restart from Clint Boyer, Denny Hamlin misjudged the space between him and the car in front because he's not really used to running the Nationwide Series too often. As you may imagine, Clint Boyer was
Damn.
going to be angry, which even Hamlin himself seemed to agree was justified.
Time
Clint
for
Boyer came back
revenge.
to sideswipe Hamlin under caution, which NASCAR immediately parked him for. I'm not
No!
sure that NASCAR needed to do this, as it probably wouldn't have
Oh.
carried much further. I guess NASCAR doesn't like extracurriculars happening under the yellow. For the encounter you've all been waiting for, and perhaps it's the most known instance.
It kind of
NASCAR
seems like if you're gonna pit someone, just do it first. Because if you're gonna do it as a revenge, then you might get parked. That's what I get from
payback
this.
and a driver getting parked. But we need to rewind and set the stage so you know what's at stake here. Joey Logano shoved Matt Kenseth out of his way to win at Kansas, his
Damn,
second
that
win
is
in the
sick.
round of 12.
Woo, Tokyo
This,
Drift.
combined with a bad race at Talladega, ensured that Matt Kenseth would not advance to the round of 8 in the NASCAR Championship. In fact, the 20 and 22 got into each other on Talladega's pit lane just one race later. Have a listen to these communications from Kenseth's radio.
Tell that 22 I'm going to knock his out after the race. You tell him. Tell him to hide behind his daddy.
Then, the
I
week
can't
after
understand
Talladega, it
anything.
was the race at Martinsville where it looked like Logano was about to win his 4th race in a row. Kenseth was involved in a crash while running second behind Joey Logano, but it was his teammate Brad
Weesh.
Keselowski that spun him out. Now,
Damn.
with no possibility to win the race, no
Teammates?
possibility to win the championship, there was just one final objective
There's teams?
for Matt Kenseth to accomplish in the 2015 season. That objective was this.
And Kenseth cleared by Logano. Maybe no. Kenseth takes him out. Logano into the wall. Caution comes out and the crowd roars.
Tell you what you need to do is go over there and get him. That's a chicken move right there.
We all know where the story came from.
Damn, I love like the rivalry between the people. It's like, you did this to me, and then you get revenge. Oh, I love this.
The fans were happy. Jeff Gordon ended up winning his final career race, and Matt Kenseth got his payback on Logano to stop him from advancing to the championship 4. NASCAR parked Matt
Dang.
Kenseth for the next 2 races at Texas and Phoenix, probably to give Logano a legitimate shot to point his way into the championship finale without the moving obstacle of Kenseth. But that didn't work. Denny Hamlin rallied behind his teammate in
Also,
the 20 by
at
dropping
what point do you at what point do you stop the race in your car? Like, let's say it's destroyed. Do you just stop, after you're missing like one wheel, or like when do you know you have to leave the track to get a new car?
shirts with the message "Free Matt." This could be because banning Kenseth from competition
Obviously,
for
if you can't drive anymore, then
2 weeks
you guys
was
know
not
what I
in
mean,
line
chat.
with when
You guys
Jeff
know what I mean.
Gordon ended Clint Boyer's championship run at Phoenix just 3 years earlier. Gordon did not receive any suspension.
Like,
and
look at
even
this. The car is so destroyed. How is he still driving?
did not receive any suspension and even won the season finale with Boyer coming in second. Popular US sports usually rule ejections by considering targeting, unsportsmanlike conduct, or messing with the officials. With these rules laid out, you're probably thinking, NASCAR drivers can't mess with officials if they're in the car. Well, Kyle Busch proved you wrong, but this actually didn't
Did he
get Kyle
flip him
Busch
off?
thrown from the race. It's kind of hard to get unsportsmanlike penalties in NASCAR, but targeting? This could be NASCAR's version of targeting. The drivers have the goal of wrecking a specific competitor to damage their car or prevent them from winning. This is the most common way to get parked, or for the sake of this video, ejected from a NASCAR race. Let's try to predict who will be the next driver to get parked from NASCAR. Oh, you're wondering about my prediction?
It's gotta be Recky Spinhouse, right?
Leave your prediction of who and what for down in the
I
comments
have no
below.
idea, chat. But yeah, this was actually kind of cool. This taught me so much more. I didn't even know they can switch out cars. I thought it's like when you go once and you crash, you're done for the game, for the race. But yeah, that was actually really cool. Thank you for watching this video, and also thank you very much to all of my supporters over at Patreon. If you'd like to see these videos earlier, head on to Patreon, and if you want to see more videos, click the videos here and here for more videos from me.